Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. After getting the two weapons, the Beast God armament and the Shawu wings, Luo Feng left the city leader's residence excitedly and returned to his own quiet training quarters. The moment he got back, he immediately connected to the Virtual Universe network. Virtual Universe Yuseong Mountain Primal Region. Your Majesty, did you request for the nutrition cabin to be sent to Primal Chaos City? A clear voice resounded on the screen. Yes. Luo Feng sat at his desk and nodded. Send it as soon as possible. Yes. After which the call ended. Luo Feng revealed a smile. With different position, one's authority was different too. Back when he first came to Primal Chaos City, he had mostly always had to listen to orders. Things like sending the nutrition cabin etc., the service wouldn't be this good, sending it personally to Primal Chaos City. Now it was different, his position was much higher than a Primal Region Sector Lord. Nanshan 7 Forms. Luo Feng waved his hand and a thick book flew out from the bookshelf, landing on the table before him. As for the laptop, he tossed it on a small table beside his sofa. I had only briefly seen through the 4 techniques before, never really studying them. Now that I've completed the first form's scale formation, I know more about the Beast God path. Naturally, it's time to learn how to use it. Luo Feng flipped open the thick book. It was half a meter thick. Every page, however, was extremely thin. The first volume alone was close to 10,000 pages long. The 1/3 pages of the first volume was information related to studying the laws, mostly on how to train the scale formation. The remaining 3 RDS, was about the 4 techniques and their usage. The first Beast God transformation was the easiest to learn. As long as one understood the laws, it could be learnt. However, it was still one of the ultimate paths. And it was an extremely important one. This particular move Shiluo Duo made had let Luo Feng understand a big secret of the universe. According to Shiluo Duo, using one's body to 100% perfection is something all undyings can do. A true absolute warrior, however, can totally exceed that limit. For example, using 200% to 300% strength instead. Like Luo Feng, his golden horned beast's natural ability strengthen was strengthening in overall, of which his body strength would double as well. And deities of the world, it was an extremely valuable technique. The moment it was unleashed, the golden horned beast would shrink and its muscle and bone density would increase at a shocking rate. This would make his strength rise by a few times. The highest was a legendary 36 times. These were all special techniques used to instantly raise one's strength. And the body's universe limit was a 100 times. Whether it was through techniques or any other method, the highest was still 100 times. Same theory. The spirit energy amplitude had a universe limit of 100 times. Luo Feng's, however, could reach over 200, and as the perfect form was only 100, his was over 32 times that. And according to what he deduced, the final goal of the demon note inheritance was probably 100 times amplitude. 100 times, this was the universe limit. There was no way to exceed that. Completing the deities of the world would increase one's amplitude to 36 times, and according to Luo Feng's inherited memories, other than the one golden horned beast that created deities of the world back then, the other generations of beasts never ever completed the 3rd level. Very few even made great progress in the 2nd level. Amplitude of 36 times, it was extremely tough. Beast God transformation only had 6 levels. The first would amplify 2 times. The second, 4 times. The third, 8 times. The 6th, 64 times. This meant that the great Shiluo Duo, a being invincible amongst anything below a universe master, could at most amplify his strength 64 times when he unleashed the Beast God transformation. Not even mentioning 64 times, simply being able to reach the 5th level of 32 times alone was already incredible. It could be seen that reaching the universe limit was extremely tough, whether it was the soul amplitude or body amplitude, or not even reaching the limit. Just reaching 50 times, that was enough to stand over countless absolute beings. Demon note inheritance, many Emperor-level undyings would go receive the inheritance. Even with such an encounter, many were unable to complete even the first level. Those without such an encounter would naturally be even weaker. 10,000 Soul Control Technique. Its pinnacle, 10,000 control, required one's spirit energy amplitude to reach 10,100 times. However, even the creator of the technique never completed it, it was but an imagination. The Demon Note inheritance had stayed in Demon Note Mountain for a countless amount of time. Yet none had ever fully completed it. Hard. Extremely tough. The universe limit had held back Shiluo Duo, the creator of the 10,000 soul control, and other countless absolute beings. And Luo Feng's golden horned beast body. Its true amplifying techniques were deities of the world and its natural ability strengthen. Of which, deities of the world could amplify his strength 5 times, and strengthen could raise it only 2 times. Hence, using those alone, he could raise his golden horned beast's strength by only 10 times. Of course, from the black metal nameless manual, it made the beast cells evolve and strengthen it by 3 times. However, this was a cellular evolution. It was the foundation. Not a technique that amplified. Like the blood river energy, using it could instantly change the genes of the right claw, making its right claw become almost like the beast god's, its strength amplifying 11 times from before. However, this too was a genetic change, not an amplitude technique. Hence genetics and bloodline is very important. Luo Feng thought within. With good genes and bloodline, one's basics would far exceed that of others. Even if there were 2 sector lord pinnacles, a golden horned beast's body attack strength will be already 10 times that of a human sector lord pinnacle. Stronger in foundation by 10 times. I have to say, that black metal nameless manual is incredibly terrifying. Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim. He had acquired that black metal on Earth and gotten the incomplete nameless manual's first level. Just its first level alone, its price was immeasurable. Normally when one reached domain lord or sector lord pinnacle, their bodies would no longer be able to evolve. However, relying on this nameless manual, raising one's genetic makeup by another 3 times. This wasn't an instantaneous amplification, but a true evolution of the genes, raising the foundation altogether. This was definitely against the universe laws. A manual that goes against the universe laws, it's a pity there's only that first level. Luo Feng thought. If I have all 9 levels, this nameless manual, its price would far exceed any manual I know of. The first beast transformation was a body amplification, similar to deities of the world and the demon note inheritance, and other amplification techniques. The second beast god armament was a technique to use the beast god armament. This was a true technique Shiluo Duo had used to dominate the universe, killing many others. It seemed like a simple standard beast god armament, however in Shiluo Duo's hands, it could decimate almost everything, dominating trillions of races. The third technique was the beast god howl. This was a soul defense technique, and was similar to the void pagoda Luo Feng studied. However, it was much stronger than that. No matter who it was, as long as he had a soul, it was necessary for them to study soul defense. And Shiluo Duo was a spirit reader, hence the soul defense technique he created was naturally extremely powerful. The fourth was beast god run. This was used to flee. The universe was vast and mysterious, with many ambushes hidden within. Being strong in battle was one thing, however what truly determined how long one lived was his ability to flee. Like undying night, going through countless life or death situations, treating the universe secret regions like his own garden, surviving through everything. Like the primal chaos guardian, having many separate bodies, this was a survival technique. Beast god run, if trained well, could raise one's survival chances by at least 10 times. 4 techniques. 1 for body amplification, 1 for spirit weapon attacks, 1 for soul defense, 1 for fleeing. The names of the 4 techniques sure are interesting. Beast god transformation, beast god armament, beast god howl and beast god run, haha. It truly is a manual designed to fully transform one into a beast god. Luo Feng smiled. On his shoulder, Barbata suddenly shouted, Luo Feng, why are there no soul amplification techniques? How would I know? Luo Feng shook his head. He didn't know. The beast god was a path of the body, not a soul path. Hence, the fusion of the gold and space laws with the final goal of becoming a beast god, it was only a body amplification, it didn't have any soul amplification. As for Shiluo Duo himself, he naturally had other encounters. He knew other soul amplification techniques, the only thing was, they weren't created by him. 4 techniques. Every one of them was extremely crucial and profound, and after carefully studying them, Luo Feng was even more shocked. He didn't even have any thoughts about creating his own techniques. His city leader teacher was right. Learn the great techniques of the elders first, and once he had fully comprehended them, through battles and all, he would someday feel they weren't fully unleashing his strength. Only then would it be a good time to create his own techniques. He was still learning the basics now. It was better to study these 4 of Shiluo Duo's techniques. Luo Feng, there's a call request. Barbata shouted. Accept. Luo Feng gently tapped the air and a screen appeared. On it was a white-bearded, white-robed old man. He was the manager of the Primal region, Ari Tuoa. He bowed slightly and said, Your Majesty Luo Feng, there's a briefcase with a manual here for you. Ah? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The city leader had said that he would send someone who would bring the details about the Shawu wings. I am coming. Luo Feng immediately closed the call. He flew out of his windows. He rushed into the skies and headed straight for the entrance of the Primal region. In the blink of an eye, he had arrived. There at the entrance stood a few maids. Ari Tuor the Undying stood there too. He held a silver briefcase. The standard beast god armament, my teacher the city leader doesn't care too much about. However, he did say these Shawu wings were a true treasure that hadn't been seen by the universe yet. Who knows what wonders it holds? Luo Feng was very clear that such a treasure would take him an extremely long time to train in to fully understand it. Looking at the manual would speed things up a lot more. Thanks. Luo Feng landed and received the briefcase. Ha, I heard you've become a true disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. Congratulations. Ari Tuor said passionately. Luo Feng looked at him shocked. This was the manager of the Primal region, he sure was well informed. Luo Feng carried the briefcase back to his villa. Pa. He sat on his sofa and opened the case, and in it a grey book lay within. He lifted it and took a look. So it's like that. He nodded and continued to read. Shawu wings. A treasure suitable for one trained in the fusion of the gold and space laws. As it's suited for this fusion, the city leader gave it to Luo Feng. The origin of this item was a mystery. Its material was incredibly sturdy, so much so that even a universe master wouldn't be able to destroy it. The city leader didn't walk the path of the beast god, hence he wouldn't be able to use it perfectly. However, his vision and perspective was incredibly broad, he was able to see its true power. The Shawu wings was mainly used for fleeing. According to the research, the city leader had discovered that the wings should have 3 forms. The first form was its normal form. After completing the Nanshan 7 forms first level, one would be able to trigger it. Using the wings, one's flying movement would be incredibly unpredictable. The second form was where the wings would change. After completing the Nanshan 7 forms third form, the bone transformation, one would be able to unleash this second form of the Shawu wings. When used, there would be a massive space disruption in the area, and that disruption would be the domain of the Shawu wings. The third form, after completing the 5th form, horned section of the Nanshan 7 forms, one would be able to unleash this third form. When used, it would become a space tide. Flying within this tide wouldn't affect the wings at all. Of course. As its material was so sturdy, even a universe master wouldn't be able to break through. As long as they wrapped around the owner, it was a very good defensive item, which was able to disperse a lot of attacks. And the feathers weren't exactly real feathers, but sharp piercing knives. In flight, they could be used to attack and slash through anything. There's a technique at the back of this book. Most of humanity doesn't have wings. Hence, the usage of such items are incredibly limited. I believe you've never trained in such a technique before too. However, this Shawu wings should be your strongest treasure. In order to unleash it well, I've prepared a technique called Universe Line. This is one that has space as the main law and gold as the secondary law. Fleeing and survival ability is very important. After studying Beast God Run and Universe Line, Luo Feng immediately began to search through the Golden Horned Beast's inherited memories for techniques. The Golden Horned Beast had wings, and there were huge amounts of such techniques for the usage of its wings. Luo Feng searched through and began to study them. Looking through Beast God Run and Universe Line, Luo Feng's perspectives had grown. He quickly found a technique specialized in fleeing. This had some similarities with the other two techniques. Its name was Universe Strike Travel. Amongst my three bodies, the Golden Horned Beast is the strongest. Naturally, the strong would work best with the strong. This Shawu wings will go to the beast. And this Universe Strike Travel, it's created by one of the ancestors of the Golden Horned Beast. It's very suited for its use. I'll use it as the main technique, and Beast God Run and Universe Line as the secondary. In the study, on his screen, there was a silhouette covered in fog. It said with a low voice, Primal Region Sector Lord Member Luo Feng, you've passed the domain Lord Primal Sky Mountain, hence the Virtual Universe Company will reward you with 3 billion points. You can use this to exchange for items that will add to your strength. This will give you a higher chance of survival in the outer region wars. Understood. Luo Feng stood before the screen. We hope you'll be able to survive and return from the wars. After which, the silhouette cut off the connection. Luo Feng smiled, his eyes filled with excitement. It's finally here. 3 billion points. Luo Feng checked his points. 3 billion had just been transferred to his account. I'll first check and exchange for the materials required for deities of the world. Luo Feng sat before his laptop and searched through. Even though he had searched before, he didn't exactly check how to use the least amount of points to get the best effect. Barbata, help me calculate, with my 3 billion points, how far can I raise deities of the world? Yes, calculating. Barbata blinked on his shoulder, complete. 3 billion points will be able to raise deities of the world to amplify your strength by 7.9 times. Barbata said. The first level was 3 times. The second was 9 times, however that required over 10 billion points to complete. 7.9. Luo Feng frowned. How much does 7.5 times require? 2.12 billion points. Barbata said. Very good. Luo Feng nodded, help me exchange. He didn't even hesitate, immediately exchanging for the items. Luo Feng was very clear on the logic of the strong going with the strong. The Golden Horned Beast's body was over 100 times stronger than his Earth body. Even adding multiple times of his Earth body's strength wouldn't be any good. It was better to simply amplify the beast's strength. Exchange successful. A total of 2.12 billion points have been spent, and the materials will arrive in Primal Chaos City within 6 months. Barbata said. He couldn't help but shout out, damn, 2.12 billion points, and this is with your huge discount. If it was cash, even 5 billion mixed elements wouldn't be enough. Damn, it's enough to make a poor emperor-level undying go completely bankrupt. Luo Feng laughed. He continued to search for information on how to make his cloud contact vine, star-eating plant and the bug clan queen become undying. For the 2 plants to break through, the price was extremely high. And there wasn't even a 100% chance at all. For example, the best option for the 100 vine star-eating plant to have a chance of breaking through to an undying was at 80%, and the price required however was 10.86 million points. The 300 vine star-eating plant, its best method would only be at 60% chance, and the cost was 920 million points. As for the 1000 vine star-eating plant, the best method would only yield a 30% chance, and the cost was close to 120 billion points. The higher it climbed, the more terrifying the costs were. And the chances of breaking through kept going lower. Whoever spent 120 billion points, but failed in making his 1,000 vine star-eating plant breakthrough to undying would definitely feel the pinch. When it came to the 108 vine cloud contact vine, the best method had a 80% chance, and the cost was 18.1 million points. For the 216 vines cloud contact vine, the best method had a 50% chance, and the cost was 1.53 billion points. As for the 360 vines cloud contact vine, the best method had a 40% chance of breaking through, and the cost was close to 11.6 billion points. These were the best methods. If one spent lesser, and used lousier methods, the chances of breakthrough would be even lower. When Huyangbo's cloud contact vine broke through back then, luck played a big part. As his investment and method wasn't exactly the best, his chances were only 40%, however he still succeeded. Exchanging for materials and treasures. Exchanging for time-space scribbles 4th, 5th and 6th volumes. Exchanging for some automaton weapons. Many such weapons were prohibit 10. Luo Feng's authority however was high enough for him to purchase them. Even though the price of these weapons was extremely high, it was usable by weak warriors, giving them the ability to fight the strong. Large amounts of point usage. He used the 3 billion points till only a pitiful 200 million was left. He then used it to exchange for many other items, things that could help raise his strength further and also deal with crisis. Time passed in a flash. It had been 300 years since he became Sector Lord. Actual universe 1,000 years. Within Primal Chaos City, countless warriors sat crossed-legged on their balconies. Luo Feng sat crossed-legged on his and looked up at the space tiers, with the universe laws revolving about. Ha ha ha. He suddenly laughed and got up. 300 years. I've been able to study the 9-universe tablet a total of 18 times. I've finally comprehended the 4th star picture, and the 5th galaxy picture. Luo Feng was happy within. Normal study of the 5th picture gave one the capability of passing the 15th level of the Heavenly Bridge, which was comparable to the 1st level of the Nan Shan 7 forms. However, it was much easier than the 1st level of the Nan Shan 7 forms. Including the 108 wonders that he had completed earlier on, along with the 18 times of study of the tablet, his efficiency had risen greatly. Even if he needed to concentrate on the 2nd level of the Nan Shan 7 forms alongside it, he wouldn't require 300 years. It's a pity that the 2nd level of the Nan Shan 7 forms is much harder than the 1st. Even after 300 years, I barely scratched the surface of it. He jumped down and landed below, walking to his door and gently touched the door. The color began to change back to white. I've stayed here for over 1,200 years. Luo Feng said softly, over 4,000 years have passed in the actual universe. Most of my time since I've been born have been used training, and now, I can't bear to leave. It's time I left. Luo Feng shook his head. He turned and left towards the not-too-distant Truyang's residence. Before leaving Primal Chaos City, he had to bid goodbye to his 2 teachers. Junior Luo Feng. Junior. Walking within, he would occasionally see his seniors, who would wave at him passionately. After knowing the face that he had become the true disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, they naturally treated him much better. Teacher is that way. A senior pointed. Luo Feng arrived before the yard. Come in. A voice resounded from within. Luo Feng stepped in and saw Truyang sitting before a table, with wine in a bamboo pot. Teacher. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Are you leaving? Truyang continued to drink. Yes. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Truyang glanced at him. Go on, don't spoil my reputation. HM. Luo Feng knelt down respectfully, bowing very heavily before getting up. I'll be leaving, teacher. He turned to head out. Truyang looked at his back and shouted, come back alive. Also bring some good wine. I haven't tasted any good wine from you yet. Walking out of Truyang's residence, Luo Feng had made up his mind to make a name for himself. He has had 3 teachers so far. One of them was Huyangbo, another was Truyang, and the third one was the Primal Chaos City leader. In terms of relationship, Truyang was without doubt the top, as he had spent so much time with him, and Tru Yang was also very dedicated in teaching him. It was almost like a father teaching his child. Just buying the Nanshan 7 forms alone, that was a debt Luo Feng found hard to repay. One had to know that Tru Yang wasn't a knight. The cost of buying the first half of the Nanshan 7 forms was extremely high for him. Your Majesty Luo Feng. Your Majesty Luo Feng. The undying guards within the city leader's residence all said respectfully, opening a path for him. Luo Feng stepped into the residence and quickly reached the yard. With a deep breath, he stepped in. Scattered corpses laid throughout the entire vast continent. One had to know that this was reality, and not the virtual universe. All the bodies were real, not decaying over countless years. It was obvious all these were undying bodies. Just the energies from them alone was terrifying. Teacher. Luo Feng walked towards the man sitting crossed-legged and bowed. The city leader stood up and turned to look at Luo Feng. Are you prepared to leave Primal Chaos City? His eyes were calm and vast like the ocean. Yes. Luo Feng replied. It's time you went out and explored. The city leader nodded. Where are you prepared to head out to? Universe Secret Region. Outer Region Wars. Outer Region Wars. Luo Feng said respectfully. Sector lords were required to go through life or death training. This was the long-time tradition of the Virtual Universe Company. The life or death training was split into 2 types. One was the Outer Region Wars and the other was the Secret Regions. Both places were extremely dangerous. The Outer Region Wars were where the races battled each other. There were many warriors hidden within, and a combined army's force. Even if they were weaker individually than Luo Feng, the combined attacks could end him immediately. As for the Secret Regions, they were also comparable to the Outer Region Wars. Just like how Luo Feng's senior Kudi had fallen in one of the Secret Regions, some of the dangers there were enough to make knights fall. Outer Region Wars. The city leader frowned. There are many races hidden out there. You are now my true disciple, and are also regarded as a rare genius of 10 million eras. Countless warriors will have made plans to kill you, the moment you head there, I'm afraid. Luo Feng smiled. I understand, I've been ambushed by the Bug Clan before. And that was even before my reputation had grown. The Bug Clan did all they could to kill me in Wulong Star Field. And right now, they are probably willing to sacrifice even more to kill me. Bug Clan. The city leader snorted coldly. The surrounding vast space immediately shook. Luo Feng was shocked. He could feel the city leader's rage the moment the Bug Clan was mentioned. Automaton race, demons, Bug Clans, the 3 pinnacle races that are neighbors to our territory. The city leader said coldly. As they are nearby, anybody that wants to expand, or doesn't want to be invaded has to go to war. Among these 3 races, the Bug Clan is the most sinister. As they have many underhanded methods, you have to be most careful of them when you head to the Outer Region Wars. Luo Feng nodded. Yes, teacher. You must be prudent, because your senior Kudi fell to them. The city leader emphasized, his strength, his self-preservation methods etc., were much more than yours currently. You only received 3 billion points to buy large amounts of items. He on the other hand had passed the sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain, getting 100 billion points. His treasures all far exceed yours. He also had many encounters, still he fell. Luo Feng shook within. I will be prudent. Right? He had thought that he had many techniques and methods. However, he recalled the last few words Hu Yangbo had told Barbata to tell him. One had to always hold respect for the universe and keep a humble heart. This was the mindset of a lone warrior undying exploring the universe. Never ever get proud. The moment you get careless, you might lose your life. Luo Feng warned himself. The inter-race wars are extremely brutal, as they are wars for survival. Over countless years, countless warriors have fallen. The grudge between each race grows more and more. It's already reached a very terrifying level. The city leader turned and looked at the vast land of countless corpses. Look at all these bodies. Luo Feng looked about. Countless bodies. Some as big as 1,000 kilometers tall, some less than half a meter, some metal life forms, energy life forms etc., the energy levels were all different, some no weaker than a living Shawu knight. These are all beings I've killed personally. He said softly. Just me alone, I've killed countless other warriors, and this is not even a fraction of it. There are many that have been reduced to nothing by energy ripples. Humanity hates other races. They hate us too. It's not clear who's right or wrong, or maybe nobody's wrong, it's simply for survival. A weaker race will want to get stronger, the strong will find ways to control and stop them. The city leader said softly. The massacres are endless. Even though I have the ability to revive, the cost of it is too much. Revival? Luo Feng was shocked. The city leader glanced at Luo Feng. Universe Masters control time and space, naturally they can reverse time and space. Even if you die, I can reverse time and space and return it to a time before you died, reviving you within. The city leader shook his head and sighed. The theory is simple, the cost however is extremely high. After all, reviving a soul that had been destroyed goes against the universe laws. It would get a backlash from the universe laws. I can withstand the backlash from reviving an official or emperor level undying. However, if I revive a knight, even I would be heavily injured. Some pinnacle beings amongst the knights, like Shiluo Duo, if I revive him, just the backlash alone would probably make me fall. The city leader said, if I die, there's no one that can revive me. Luo Feng was shocked. What a terrifying price. The backlash from reviving a knight was actually enough to heavily damage the Primal Chaos city leader. Reviving a pinnacle being like Shiluo Duo would even make him fall. Reversing time and space, reviving the dead, one would not only receive a backlash from the universe laws. He shook his head. There are many flaws in this heavenly technique, of which I cannot explain everything shortly. It makes it so that I can only try to bring you back if you die. Like your senior Kudai, I had no way to revive him. Hence you have to be prudent. When they make a move against you, they'll definitely think of a way to stop me from reviving you. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Remember, he emphasized, the most important thing is that don't ever let your soul be possessed or taken control of. The moment you become a soul slave, even I have no way to save you. Luo Feng was shocked. Becoming a soul slave was indeed the end. If you receive a soul attack you cannot withstand, self-destruct. That would still be the better choice than becoming a soul slave. He stared at Luo Feng. Self-destruct. Luo Feng nodded. This is my keepsake. He flipped his hand, a gold card appeared, on it were faint engravings, the picture of a city. Luo Feng received it respectfully. If you encounter a danger you cannot deal with, you can immediately destroy this card. The material that makes up this card is very weak, it's only C9 grade alloy, you can easily destroy it. It has my spirit imprint, and the moment you destroy it, I will know and will rush over in a short time. The city leader emphasized. Luo Feng nodded. Of course. I hope you won't ever be forced to use it. The city leader looked at him. I hope, for you to rely on your own strength and become an absolute warrior. Then the other races cannot touch you. Before you leave, I have one last thing to tell you. Remember, survival is number one. He emphasized, with an absolute survival method, the other races won't dare to mess with you. Like Undying Knight of the Huge Axe Dojo, his strength is at Knight Pinnacle level, however his survival ability is very strong. Even the Universe Masters would find it extremely hard to kill him. The moment one cannot kill, he would get revenge. While he may not be your match, he can take it out on your disciples and race people. Luo Feng got a revelation as he heard this. Right? Survival ability was not something to be messed with. If you can't kill him, don't make a move against him, otherwise messing with such an unkillable enemy would bring only trouble. I do not need you to become like Undying Knight, his survival ability is simply absurd. However, try your best to raise your survival skills. He emphasized, don't ever think that you are absolutely safe, even up to my level, I do not dare say such words. I will remember this well. Luo Feng said gratefully. Go on. Go and explore the universe. The city leader waved his hand. Luo Feng knelt and bid goodbye to his teacher. Luo Feng was immediately walked out of the primal chaos ruins. He glanced at the yard, then turned and left. There were frequent ships that flew through the universe pathways between the primal universe and the virtual universe company's headquarters in the actual universe. Luo Feng decided to leave that day, checking up on the schedules and requesting to leave. He rushed into the sky and headed to the air. There floated a huge ship. "Your Majesty Luo Feng, we are all ready." The purple-robed Undying stood there at the entrance and smiled passionately at him. Luo Feng glanced back at Primal Chaos City. This was where he had lived for 1,200 years, the place where his teachers, Tru Yang and the Primal Chaos City leader were. "It's time to go." He flew into the ship. The cabin door shut, rumble. The ship began to fly deep through the primal chaos energies. This video will end here.